All right, we're going to be talking about the surface area of composite shapes. And so when we found the surface area of different prisms, such as rectangular and triangular prisms, and we simply had, if we were just focused on this, we found the area of every single face. And so we kind of combine that thinking with composite shapes. And what's going to be kind of tough is with composite shapes, we can't really just use the formulas. Okay, remember our formula for like the surface area would just be length times width, width times height, height times length, and then we multiply all those by 2. But with composite shapes, you'll see that all of these are like multiple prisms and multiple triangular prisms, rectangular and triangular prisms put together. And so what I think is most efficient is we can kind of split it up. Okay, just like with volume, we split up the composite shapes. With surface area, we can split it up. And so when we talk about this first one, all right, we've got our top prism. We're going to be finding the surface area of that. And then we also have the bottom prism. And so when we have each of these, okay, let's talk about the faces of this top prism that we're going to find the surface area of. Okay, and remember, surface area, we're trying to essentially find the area of each face that we can cover. So it's like we're painting all of the outside. So you'll notice that, all right, we're going to paint the front. We're going to paint the back. We're going to paint, there we go. Erase those. We're going to paint the top. But you'll notice we're not going to paint the bottom, because the bottom is covered up. It's like it's in between both of the prisms. So we're not going to color that bottom, but we will still color the right. And then we'll also color the left. So you'll notice that we are actually only finding the area of 5 of these faces and not just 6. So for the front, we have this distance, which is 4. Okay, you'll notice this distance here is 6 centimeters because it matches up with the one down there. Okay, so the front, we've got here, our length is 4, height is 4, so we get 4 times 4. Front and back are going to be the same. The top is going to be 6 times 4. And then the right side, let me erase each of those. Our right side is going to end up being our height is 4, our length is 6. So we have 6 times 4, and then the left side will be the same as that. Okay, so that's all that we have for the top prism. Now if we go to the bottom prism, you'll notice that, okay, we'll color in the front. We'll color in the back. So the front and the back are going to be the same. All right. We're going to color in the right side here. So we've got right. And then that'll be the same as the left, which is right over here. And then we also have the bottom that will shade in. And so when we talk about the top of this prism, okay, again, we're not shading in over here, but we do still have this shape right here. So we're going to have 6 faces of that bottom. Okay, because you see the top here shows, but then the top on the left side doesn't. All right. So if we look at the bottom prism, the front is going to be this. So we have 10 times 4. And the back will be the same, 10 times 4. We look at the right side, we've got 6 times 4. Left side will be the same as that. And then the bottom, if we highlight that, the bottom is going to be 10 times 6. So we've got 10 times 6. And then the top's going to be different because we've got this shape here. And so what we do is this length is 6. And then we've got to figure out this length. So we've got the entire length is 10. This here is 4. So 10 minus 4 would be 6. So that top is going to be 6 times 6. And so now when we have all of those, we're going to end up multiplying each of those and then adding them together. So we get 16, 16, 24, 24, 24. And then we get 40 over here, 40, 24, 24, 60, Okay, so if we add all those together, for top prism, we're going to get 32, 48, that would be 80, and then we get 104, and then this would be centimeters squared over here for the top prism. Then the bottom prism, we have 40, 40, so we get 80, 104, 128, 188, and then we get 224 centimeters squared here. And now we're just going to simply add 224 and 104, and we end up getting 328 centimeters squared. And so that's how we find the surface area of a composite shape. All right, so we just split them up. Okay, we split them up. We got our top prism, we got the bottom prism. All right, and we're finding the surface area of those. Okay, we're going to go and skip ahead to a triangular prism where we're finding the area of each of the faces. Okay, so if we look at number 5 here, we have our top prism, and then we have our bottom prism. And again, we can't really use the equation for it. That's just not going to be very efficient. So the top prism, we've got the front. The front will be the same as the back. And then we have, so the front and back are there. We don't really have a top or a bottom, but the top we might have like this rectangle here, which would be like the top right. And then that'll be the same as the top left. So like this right here, okay? But that's it. We won't find the bottom because the bottom's covered up. So now we look at the bottom prism. We've got this rectangle prism. We've got the front, which will be the same as the back. We've got the right side, which will be the same as the left. And then we don't have the top of the bottom prism because that's covered up. So now we just have the bottom. And so we're going to go ahead and find the area of each of these. The front triangle, we've got the base is 5. The height, remember, forms a 90-degree angle, so the height is 2 because it matches up here. So we take 5 times 2, divided by 2. Front and back are the same. The top right is again going to be this shape here. Top right, so we've got 6 times this 3.2. So 6 times 3.2. And then the top left will be the exact same. 6 times 3.2. And now, let's go to the bottom prism. So the bottom prism, the front is this. So 5 times, looks like that's a 3 here. So 5 times 3, front and back are the same. The right side will be 6 times 3. Should be the same as the left. And then the bottom will be 5 times 6. And so now we just get to work, multiply all these, and then add them together. So we get 5 times 2 divided by 2 would be 5. We get 5. 6 times 3.2. I'm going to cheat and use a calculator here. So we get 6 times 3.2. Ends up getting 19.2 for each of those. And then we've got 15, 15, 18, 18, and then 30. So we're going to add all these up. We get 10 plus 19.2 plus 19.2 plus 30 plus 36 plus 30 again. We get 144.4. And then we'll have meters squared. All right. So in summary, to find the surface area of a composite prism, okay, you've got to just list out each of the faces and then find the area of those faces and then add them together at the end. All right. Triangular prism is a little bit tougher, but we've got all of these prisms to find the surface area of.